Oh, great morning, students. I want to welcome you to class this morning, and then I trust it's going to be an awesome time with you guys. All right, so this morning we are going to be talking or discussing about a serious topic here before us, and then we're going to be talking about weeds. We're going to be talking about weeds, and then first of all, we're going to understand the definition of weed and also understand the characteristics of weed. That means when we talk about the word characteristics, is the way weeds behave. All right, so follow me closely as I take you to the next slide. All right, over here we have the definition of weeds, and then we say that weeds are plants growing where they are not wanted or cultivated. That means you do not plant them, be it cassava, be it water leaf, be it plantain. Once they are not where they are supposed to be, that means they are weeds. All right? Are we understanding or are we following this morning? Said a plant may be weed in one farm, but crop in another. That's what I tried explaining just now. There can be weed in another farm, and then there can be crop in another farm. All right. For instance, a cowpea plant growing in a cassava plant, cassava plot rather, is a weed. Are we understanding now? All right. So let's move. And now we're going to be talking about the characteristics of weeds. And then we're going to say weeds are the following have the following characters. Alright? They said weeds grow very fast. That's number one. They grow very fast. So that means if you can plant weed here and then also plant your crop, be it maize or whatever, the weeds grow faster. Alright? So that means in other words they use the soil nutrients. They actually rush or go ahead to consume most of the soil nutrients. Alright, and then leaving maybe a little for your plants which you actually tried or which you're actually growing on that land. And that is the reason why as farmers we advise that you do what? Immediately you see them coming out, you remove them. And then secondly here say weeds. Wheat seed can be dominant. All right, they can be dominant in the soil for a very long time, so that means they can survive, they can stay there, they can actually oppress other crops that actually have their seeds on the ground, because their seeds is number one, it's plenty, and then also they take their time, they can stay there for a very long time surviving. Meanwhile you can keep others here, either they go into the soil, and maybe if the soil is not too conducive for them, they die off, and then but weeds can actually survive in that particular soil. All right, and then the third one we have here, I said they produce many seeds, just like we explained from the previous one. They have many seeds, they produce many seeds, they produce their seed in thousands. All right, they produce their seed in hundreds, and then it's just many, and then it is scattered all over the soil. All right, so they have ability to survive adverse soil and climatic conditions. Now wheat can survive anything. Let's assume that we were just explaining recently that the soil can be very hard. Wheat can actually survive on that soil. The soil might not be too conducive for it to produce very well, but wheat can survive on that particular soil. They survive anywhere because they have a very stubborn nature to grow anywhere and then to survive whatever climatic condition that you actually is actually coming your way. All right, and then the last one we have here, said they are resistant to tramping. So step on them whichever way you want, step on them, they will still produce, they will still grow. And then when you keep stepping on them, you are even a mode of dispersal. When I talk about the word dispersal, that means you can actually be of help to transplant them to a place or to transport them to a place where they will actually grow conducively. So that's sweet for you. And then let's move on to the next slide where we see our conclusion and then also our assignments that we are going to do. And then when we come to school, and then when we come to school on Tuesday rather, and then we can still talk about them, and then it will be very easy for us to go to what we have next. All right, so in conclusion, you said weeds are unwanted plants in our farms. All right, there are also plants that can be useful to man, just that at that given time and at that point also it is not important and not supposed to be in that land. Which other crops needed at that given time has been planted. So if you plant your crops, whatever it is again that is growing in that land, they are weeds. In fact, let it be a mango tree, it's a weed. You can actually remove it and throw it away, because at that point, that mango seed or the mango plant is not needed. It is defined, or it can be called a what? A weed. So simply state that weeds are unwanted plants growing in a place where they are not supposed to. All right, and then in our assignment here, it says you have to read ahead, identify some weeds with their botanical names, and also find out the use, or rather the uses of wheat. So until we meet next time, be good, take care of yourself. I'm gonna see you in class, and then we're gonna do something great together. Cheers.